Hi, Claire McFee for Toddlers to Teens and creator of the Organise Your Life household filing system. Today I wanted to talk about the benefits of using a pre-done shopping list, which if you're not doing already, you've got to start doing, you'll save a fortune, and weekly meal planning. The two really go hand in hand because if you don't pre-think, what you're going to have the following week, then you're not going to know what you need on your shopping list, obviously. But to start with the weekly meal planning, it can make such a difference to what you prepare for your family, for starters, and how much healthier you'll be if you give it a little bit more thought. Sometimes if we leave these sorts of things to the last minute because it's all too rushed, we end up going for the unhealthier, quicker fast foods that are more processed type options, which really can add up in terms of health effects and financially as well. So a little bit of thought in there can make a huge difference. Look, it doesn't have to be super structured, like you know what you're going to have every single night of every single week. I'm certainly not that organised because it just doesn't work for me. It's not realistic. But just putting just a little bit of thought into it so that you buy the right things and you're not forgetting stuff and not having to make extra trips to the supermarket, which is a waste of your time, and the petrol and all sorts of extra effects that just aren't needed. So write down on a little list, dinners for, say Monday to Fridays. Weekends can be a little bit more cash. And one of the biggest things for me personally that I recommend doing, and I know a lot of other people that do, that saves them heaps of time, is cooking double quantities of meals once at least, if not twice a week. So that's twice, 4 meals out of 7, where you've done the bulk of the work in one night. The next night it's just a quick heat up and hardly any dishes, and it's super easy. Now look, when I first started doing it, admittedly, and I know it might be the same for you initially, your husband or partner and kids may not be happy with having the same food or dinner twice in a row. It's a bit boring and whatever other excuses they might come up with. But at the end of the day, if you're the one who's doing most of the cooking, and it's going to save you a bit of stress and time and whatnot, then I think it's worth, the boredom of having the same thing 2 nights in a row. I mean, really, is it that big a deal? You can freeze it if you want to, which might get around that issue. I don't particularly like the hassle of the freezing when we can just have it 2 nights in a row and it's done with. You're not having to go through that process. But yeah, doing that at least once a week can save you just that little bit of time, which can make a difference. It all adds up here and there. All right, so on to the pre-done shopping list. I'll show you a copy here of one. It's got all sorts of things that you will need on usually a weekly basis. So just your general groceries, kitchen supplies, meat and fish, your medicine, supplements, office supplies, oils, vinegars, personal care, pet items if you have pets, refrigerated items, snacks, and a spot for other. We've got this pre-done list as well as a fully blank one that people can type their own information into and just print out. So yeah, look, I have a lot of these in my car, so I put them in my glove box so that when I am out of town, we do our big shop every week or two, an hour out of town, because our supermarket here in Lorne is one of the most expensive in Australia, so we tend to do it when we're in town, and that takes a bit of pre-planning. So yeah, I just have one in the car, and if I haven't already ticked a few things off, then at least it's there for me to just go yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and not buy random things that are going to end up going off because I haven't given enough thought, and you just save a lot of money. And another big tip, which I'm sure you've heard before, but I'll say it again, is do not shop on an empty stomach, because you will spend so much more money, and usually on utter rubbish, because your brain's just is craving food, and of course the naughty part of the brain will just be like seeing all these amazing yummy sweet treats and that'd be good, yum yum yum, and all of a sudden you find yourself grabbing things and putting them in the trolley that aren't so good, that you might be eating on the way home, and it's just rubbish that really should be treats and not had too often. So yeah, make sure you eat something healthy before you go shopping. And if you can do it without kids somehow, whether you do swaps with friends if you need to, or do it at night time. I know a lot of people do late night shops when their partner's home and they can look after the kids, and you go off and do it in the peace and quiet, so you don't have that hassle factor. It used to just be one lovely column or row of rubbishy foods that you could avoid, and unfortunately that's changed so that, you know, you've got rubbish and tempting things and branding on even, you know, peas and margarine, tempting your kids every step of the way, that you're just having to keep on saying, you know, no, and this is why, or just whatever, no, full stop, which is just something you know you don't want to have to deal with all the time if you can prevent that. So, you know, grab your list, print it off, have it there for you. You'll save heaps of time and money, and that is what it's all about. For more organising tips, you can go to our website, organiseyourlife.com.au, and we've got a blog as well, organiseyourlifenow.blogspot.com. Heaps of tips, comps, giveaways, all that sort of thing. So come and see us over there. We'd love you to say hi. All right, thanks for that, and we'll see you next time.